I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, June the 9th. A lot of cash strength out there being shown mid to late week as we see your feeder markets and your mid to late week sales charging ahead, even though we had that limit down feeder cattle board there on Tuesday's trade and nobody could really figure out what the deal was with that. Few early sales of dressed fats higher again, even though we haven't seen a big call for that. There's just a lot of good demand for cattle out there, and it's shining through. Look at your board mid to late week there. Live cattle futures, the August contract, Wednesday was up 57 cents. Thursday down just 15 cents to end the day on Thursday at 124.02. Your June spot live cattle market at 131.37. And that's we're still going to have a pretty sizable basis there whenever we get the bulk of the cash trade, which is yet to happen. Feeder cattle futures, August, Wednesday was down 57, Thursday down 85 to end the day on Thursday at 153.95. There's been a lot of pressure on your feeder cattle contracts this week, and talked to a lot of people about the market. Was up half the night talking to guys about the market there last night, but you know, nobody could figure out why Chicago decided to take the feeder board down the limit on all your nearby contracts on Tuesday. There was no smoking gun, nothing really you could put your finger on why it had to be that way, but I think they missed the mark. I don't know if it was one trading company or a group or whatever decided to get together and try to put a scare in your feeder board. Yes, it's been up big, was up 11.77 on the August last week, which was a giant charge there last week, but still there's nothing to say that it can't get any higher. You still got a lot of farmer feeders out there that think that may be their only way to break even this year, is to feed some cattle with the corn that they've got on hand. But you know, the feeder board is always vulnerable to being pushed around like that. It's really a shallow pool. You never see traders try to manhandle a money market or something like that, because there's just way too much play in there, and not any one entity is big enough to do anything to it. But your feeder board is a small board, and it can be arm wrestled around pretty hard, and it looks like that's what they tried to do early in the week, but just underestimated the strength of the cash. Your fats still haven't had the bulk of the trade yet. Did have some dress trade in the northern plains in Iowa and Nebraska, both from 220 to 221 dressed. That would be $4 to $5 higher than the bulk of last week's dress trade. If you notice this week, there's been a little push on corn. It's not enough to make that feeder board go down the limit on Tuesday, but still, guy might want to keep his eye on that. Of course, we're in the time of year we're in a weather market on our grains right now, so any day that it's hot and it doesn't rain, then everybody thinks we're in a drought, and any time that it does rain, they think maybe we got a flood or something. But your December corn is now just over $4, and it's gained quite a few cents this week. But your actual dressed steer weights for the week ending May 27th come out on Thursday at 838 pounds, still relatively light, but 2 pounds heavier than the previous report. So it looks like it did bottom out there in the low 830s. Your slaughter's been good this week, 466,000. That's 19,000 more than the same week a year ago, but hard to test last week due to the holiday that was on Monday. Box beef cutout values mid to late week have been real steady, still carrying that huge $30 plus spread between choice and select. Look at your feeder markets. OKC West, the final call there, 9,800 head, including about 7,000 head of feeder cattle on Wednesday. Your feeders were $6 to $8 higher. It didn't have a real good test of calves on Tuesday there, but we saw earlier in the week on your Beef Market Central market report that they were easily $5 to $10 higher on your calves. Pratt on Thursday was about your only big high volume feeder auction, and early sales there looked $1 to $6 higher on your feeder weight, so guys still going after the big feeder cattle. Another market that we saw on Wednesday was the Green City livestock market there in Green City, Missouri, north central Missouri. Big farmer feeder auction, and got some quotes out of there. 61 head weighed 835 of steers, 168. Another heavier quote there on steers. 60 head of 939 pound steers bring 156.85. Look at an individual quote out of Pratt at noon on Thursday on Beef Market Central there. 105 head of steers weighed 894 at 157.75. That's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.